Hello all, I welcome you to this module. Guess what we're going to discuss in today's module? Well, we are going to look at a few expressions that can be used in our day-to-day conversations with people, and I'm sure this will make your language very impressive. So let's get started. The first phrase is add insult to injury. What does that mean? To act in a way that makes a bad situation worse. Let's check the usage. I was already getting late for work, stuck in the traffic, and to add insult to injury, I was stopped by the police for overspeeding. The second phrase is at the 11th hour. What does that mean? It means at the last moment. Let's check the usage. Just minutes before the deadline, he submitted his assignment at the 11th hour. The third phrase is out of shape. What does that mean? Not physically strong or fit or not in a healthy condition. Let's check the usage. I'm tired the whole day. Oh man, I think I'm getting out of shape. The fourth phrase is out of loop. What does that mean? It means uninformed or not having the information that everyone else has. Let's check the usage. She may be out of loop for a short time. So here someone is telling that, let's suppose it's an office discussion that looks like some person has not been informed about what's happening, and therefore third person comments on that saying she is out of loop for this for some time. The fifth phrase is apple of one's eyes. What does that mean? It means lovable. Let's check the usage. I love my niece Shreya. She is the apple of my eye, which means Shreya is very dear to her aunt. The sixth phrase is crocodile tears. What's the meaning of that? False tears. Let's check the usage. The sight of David shedding crocodile tears made me sick. So someone here is commenting on the whole act of David shedding tears. So he feels that it's false tears and he really doesn't um, um, mean or feel bad about what's happening. Therefore, he's shedding crocodile tears. The next phrase is hold one's tongue. What does that mean? It means to remain silent. Let's check the usage. If you don't hold your tongue, you will have to walk out of the class. So let's suppose that some student is talking back to the teacher and the teacher is really furious and the teacher says, if you don't hold your tongue, you will have to walk out of the class. The next phrase is white elephant, which means a costly but useless possession. Let's check the usage. The bridge remains underused and has become a white elephant project. So let's suppose it's a project of the government and they have built a bridge which is not used by people at all, and the whole process of getting the bridge built was a very expensive one. So someone is commenting that this is a white elephant project because this was a very pricey project, this is a very expensive project, but that is not put to use properly. The next phrase is out of touch. What does that mean? It means not communicating with each other for quite some time. Let's check the usage. I have been out of touch with my cousin for many years. So looks like someone is commenting that I've not been in touch with my cousins for a long time now. So this might be true with a lot of us, right? I mean, we don't keep in touch with our relatives all the time. So we end up being out of touch with them for some time. Well, the next phrase is barking up the wrong tree. Well, what does that mean? To be wrong about the way to achieve something or the reason for something. Let's check the usage. I've been trying to solve this maths question, but I think I've been barking up the wrong tree. So someone has spent a lot of time on solving one maths question and he feels I wasted a lot of time, so I've been barking up the wrong tree. Maybe I should have done it differently. Now, The next set of phrases. The next phrase is to call it a day. What does that mean? To stop what you were doing because you think you have done enough or you do not want to do that work anymore. So let's check the usage. I'm getting a bit tired now. Let's call it a day. So let's suppose a boss is having a meeting with a lot of people and it's late in the evening and he feels he's quite tired. So he says, "Look, I'm tired. Let's call it a day," which means let's stop the work here. The next phrase is take the law in one's hand. What does that mean? To punish someone according to one's own idea of justice. Let's check the usage. After his daughter's killer was let off without a conviction, the man decided to take the law into his own arms. So, looks like a criminal who has killed a person's daughter has come out of the prison or was let free um, without a conviction. And so, the man decides to punish himself and therefore he takes the law into his own hands. The next phrase is take the bull by horns. What does that mean? It means to face difficulties in a direct way, particularly when they are of very difficult and dangerous situations. Let's check the usage. The government will have to take the bull by the horns and tackle the problem of inflation. So, it looks like there's a problem of inflation and a person is commenting about it and he says the government will have to deal with this problem directly in a very direct way and tackle the situation of or this problem of inflation by taking the bull by its horns, that is by facing it directly. So, what's the usage? The government will have to take the bull by horns and tackle the inflation. The next phrase is burn the candle at both ends. What does that mean? To work extremely hard. Let's check the usage. Ever since I started my new job, I've been burning the candle at both ends. So someone is making the statement that I found a new job and I want to please myself and the people around me, my colleagues and my boss particularly, and therefore I'm working really hard. And therefore, he says, ever since I started my new job, I've been burning the candle at both ends. The next phrase is break the ice, which means to make people who have not met with each other before feel more relaxed and comfortable. Let's check the usage. He organized a few party games to break the ice when people first arrived. So, look like a person has invited a few people for party and they do not know each other, and therefore to break the ice or to make the people who have come for the party more comfortable, he has planned to do or he has arranged for some games. The next phrase is a 9 days wonder. What does that mean? It means short lived. Let's check the usage. Don't worry about the story in the newspaper. It will be a 9 days wonder and then people will forget that. So let's suppose a very famous personality or a film actor is feeling bad about what's being published about him or her in the newspaper. So let's suppose a friend is consoling him or her, saying, "Oh, don't worry about it," or "These things keep coming all the time. It's going to be a 9 days wonder," and people are going to get different piece of information for which um, which is going to draw their attention. So don't worry about this. This is a short-lived thing. It's a 9 days wonder. The next phrase is the ball is in your court. What does that mean? It means now it's your turn to make the next step or decision. Let's check the usage. They've made the last offer. The ball is in Shiv's court now, which means Dev has done what he needs to be doing from his side, and now it's the turn for Shiv to make the decision, and therefore the ball is in Shiv's court. The next phrase is cost an arm and a leg. What does that mean? It means to be very expensive. So let's check the usage. Is it really worth to spend an arm and a leg on certain types of cosmetics? So let's suppose that someone is seeing a lot of cosmetic products, and the price of that, the price tag of those cosmetic products, and then he or she is perplexed, and then she asks this question to her friend: is it really worth to spend, that much money on cosmetics? And for that, he uses the phrase cost an arm and a leg. Okay, so let's see how he uses that. Is it really worth to spend an arm and a leg on certain type of cosmetics? Is it really worth to spend an arm and a leg on certain type of cosmetics? The next phrase is put the cart before the horse. What does this mean? It means to do things wrongly. Let's check the usage. I think you're putting the cart before the horse by leaving your permanent job before getting a new one. So let's suppose a family member or a concerned friend is advising, um, saying that you are not doing the right thing by leaving a permanent job and then hunting for a new one. You find a new job, a dream job of yours, and then leave the permanent one that you have right now. The next phrase is get your act together. What does that mean? To organize yourself so that you can do things in an effective way. Let's check the usage. I wish she could get her act together. So here someone is making a comment that this person seems to be clumsy and not doing things the right way. So I wish she conducts herself and her life properly. So therefore they say, I wish she would conduct her act together. We'll look at the next set of phrases. The next phrase is put your eggs in one basket. What does that mean? To depend for success on a single person or plan. Let's check the usage. His financial advisor urged him to be careful and not put all his eggs in one basket by investing all his money on stocks. So, what's the scenario here? So, here a financial advisor is telling his client, do not invest only on stocks. And for that, he says, do not put all his eggs in one basket by investing all his money on stocks. The next phrase is every cloud has a silver lining. What does that mean? Every negative has a positive. Let's check the usage. Don't worry about breaking your leg. You will be able to relax all day on the sofa watching your favorite TV shows. So you see, every cloud has a silver lining. So here someone has broken his leg and he's taking a rest at home. He's taking a good rest at home, and so his friend is saying, don't feel bad about this, because you get to watch television the whole day. You can watch your favorite TV shows, and then you'll also be resting the whole day on your couch. So every cloud has a silver lining. The next phrase is to get out of hand, which means become difficult to control. Let's check the usage. Please call for help. I don't want the fire to get out of hand. So, looks like there's a fire breakout, and the person is saying, please call for help as soon as possible. I don't want this fire to get out of hand, or I don't want this to become difficult to control. Okay. The next phrase is to cry wolf. What does this mean? To call for help when you really don't need it. Let's check the usage. Don't pay attention to Sitara. She is only crying wolf. So here someone is saying, here someone is making a statement that, look, she often does that. Don't pay attention to that. For that, how is he phrasing it? Don't pay attention to Sitara. She's always crying wolf. Meaning she's asking for help and she really doesn't need that. So you really don't pay attention is what the person is saying. The next phrase is it takes two to tango. What does that mean? It means actions or communication needs more than one person. Let's check the usage. Don't blame me for the argument. It takes two to tango. you are equally responsible. So looks like there was an argument between two people, and one of them is making the statement that don't blame me for this argument, because at the end of the day, two people are responsible for an argument. So for that he says, it takes two to tango. You are also equally responsible for this argument. The next phrase is to get something out of your system. What does that mean? To get rid of a wish or an emotion, especially a negative one, by allowing yourself to express it. Let's check out the usage. Please make a diary entry of all the negative emotions you feel. You will feel better if you get it out of your system. Well, what does that mean? So let's suppose a psychologist is talking to her patient. She's saying to get things out of your system, to get all the negative emotions out of your system, um, you must start the habit of making a diary entry of all that you're feeling, a diary entry of your emotions and feelings. The next phrase is to sit or be on the fence. What does that mean? It means undecided, or taking a neutral stand, or not taking sides. Let's check the usage. So, what does sitting on the fence means? Let me give an example. So, you go to an ice cream counter and you are not able to decide whether you need a chocolate ice cream or vanilla ice cream. Then you are sitting on the fence. And the guy who sells ice cream, who is at the counter, saying, you can't sit on the fence for long, you make your decision fast and let me know what I should get for you. The next phrase is to step up one's game, which means to start performing better. Let's check the usage. You really need to step up your game if you need to stay in this company. Let's suppose a boss is warning his employee that unless you do you better your performance, unless you perform better, you don't dream about staying in this company any longer. So how does he phrase that? Unless you step up your game, don't think about staying in this company. He says you really need to step up your game if you want to stay in this company. Okay. The next phrase is to sell someone out, which means to snitch on someone or let their secrets out. Let's check the usage. The company had put a lot of trust on him, but he sold them out by leaking confidential information to the competitors. There is another usage. Can I trust you on this, or will you sell me out? So here a friend is asking, can I tell this secret to you? Will you share it with anybody? Are you going to let it out? So for that, instead of that, she's asking, can I trust you with this, or will you sell me out? Okay. And the final phrase of today's module is to be all Greek, which means be not understood. Let's check the usage. I tried reading that science journal, but it was all Greek to me. So someone is trying to read a science journal and he hasn't understood a word of that, and therefore he says, I tried reading that science journal, but it was all Greek to me, meaning he didn't understand any of that. So with that, we are coming to an end of this module. I will see you with a different module on a different day. Until then, stay safe, take care, bye.